Hey everyone, it's Oliver Manalese here from the holisticentrepreneur.ca. I thought I'd make a quick video here in the great outdoors while it's still nice out here in Canada. It's probably one of the last few days it'll be this beautiful. I mean, it was raining this morning and now the sun's out. So I thought I'd make this video for you guys today about the authentic versus the false self. Now, the reason I wanted to have this conversation with you today is because many people, I'm not going to say it's exactly you, but it could be people that you know, it could be people that you're surrounded with, maybe at work or potentially at home or within your circle of friends. People are complaining about how unhappy they are in their career, in their place of work, complaining about their bosses, complaining about their coworkers. They're not happy about it. They might be unhappy about their relationship, feel that they deserve better, or they're just constantly complaining, unhappy, and not wanting, and not really doing anything to change it. Or maybe you know somebody that is not healthy. Maybe their body is not in the best shape. They're not well, or they're excessively overweight at this point, not taking care of themselves. Or maybe financially, just not happy with your finances. There might be people who aren't making as much money as they feel that they should be making. On the other hand, there's just simple stress. Maybe just being really stressed out that by the time it's the end of the day and you're ready to go home, you're just completely zonked because of all maybe the negativity or just all the stress from your work day, that you have really low energy. Maybe it's hard to get up in the morning and to find that energy, and you're just really sluggish, or you're just continuing hitting the snooze button. And a lot of times people will ask, how do you wake up so early? How do you find so much energy, so much inspiration, so much motivation about life and your work and your business and things like that? That's, we get asked that as holistic entrepreneurs, and they're looking for, their little tips. They're looking for quick tips to help them solve their problems. But the biggest thing to note is that a lot of times people are not looking in the right place. You're trying to find, the right, complaining about your job or the relationship or your physical health and different things like that. These are just the effect. So if you're attacking the effect, you don't end up working on the actual cause of the problem. So let's say you have a headache. We take, most people will take, acetaminophen, or someone will take a Tylenol or an Advil to treat the symptom. The symptom is the headache, it's the effect. But a lot of people will not find out and learn what the actual cause of the headache is. It could be, something that's happening in your daily life. It could be something that you're eating. Maybe you're not drinking enough water. There could be multiple different causes. But if you're just treating the symptom and you're not finding the actual cause and treating the cause, then the problem is just going to arise again. You're just blunting the actual experience. I mean, it's a signal to yourself that you need to do something about it. Another example could be maybe your engine light. My engine light on my car came on. You could, just keep driving with your engine light on, have someone turn it off, and just treat the symptom by turning off the light. Or you could actually go out and find out what's causing that engine light to turn on. So obviously you want to start looking at what is causing the problem rather than just trying to treat the effect. So what I'm trying to say is, what I'm arguing is, your level of stress, your low energy, your lack of inspiration to get up in the morning, your poor relationships, your unhealthy body, your poor finances, your job, these are all just an effect. And trying to solve those problems individually on your own is not going to solve anything. But the real cause of the problem, I would like to argue in this video, is that there is a lack of self-knowledge. Put it another way, you are your false self. I'm going to respectfully argue that you've gone through life. If you're watching this video and you meet the above criteria that I was just talking about, then you've gone through life, going through university. Well, let's look at me for instance. I went to university just to please my parents. I chose a program that had nothing to do with what I was passionate about. I was working in multiple jobs that I really didn't feel passionate or enthusiastic about. It was just so I can, you know, make some dollars. You could be in a similar situation where you're not really making these types of decisions. You're just going with the flow. You're listening to what society says, what your family says, what everybody else thinks, and doing what society expects of you. Maybe you're in a career that you really shouldn't be in, or in a relationship that you really shouldn't be in. These are all different things that happen because you are not authentic. You're not true to yourself. One of the famous sayings by Shakespeare is, "To thine own self be true." So it's stressing the importance of being true to yourself, and that really has to do with, you know, knowing what you want, knowing who you are, what your goals are, what you want to accomplish, what type of difference you want to make in this world, what you're passionate about, what gets you up in the morning, you know, what are your weaknesses, what are my flaws, what are the things that I'm nervous of, you know. Knowing yourself is one of the most important things to move through life in a different way as a holistic entrepreneur. Another famous saying is by Socrates, who says the beginning of wisdom is self-knowledge. There's no point in looking at the external trying to fill the internal. My coach Hans Phillips says, you know, stop using others to avoid yourself. So sometimes we're looking for a relationship to, you know, sometimes I meet a friend of mine who's looking for a girlfriend just to make them happy, or looking for the new merchandise, new clothing, new electronics to fill a void within themselves. I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot fill yourself with external objects. The only true happiness that you could find is happiness within yourself, that you find within yourself. Nobody can control your emotions but yourself. And some of the ways that you can be doing this to pursue self-knowledge, well, before we talk about pursuing self-knowledge, all these complaints is, it's pretty much saying that the world is happening to me. It's being a victim. You're really being a victim. You know, I hate my job, I hate my relationship, I can't do anything about this, I can't believe this happened to me. All of these things happen to you. When you're in that type of position, you are empowering others to control your emotions. You're empowering the situations around you to control your emotions rather than taking hold of it yourself. Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, says that the only thing that you have control over is your mind. So stop being a victim. Life doesn't happen to you. You can decide in your head how you want to react, how you're going to feel about a certain situation. No one can make you feel a certain way. I cannot go to a friend of mine and tell them, you know, you're pissing me off. What you did pissed me off. That's not the way it works. You know, the being pissed off comes from within me. It comes from the story that I tell myself about what that person is saying or doing, and, you know, bring something up in me. What they're doing is not, you know, what they say is not the cause of me feeling, you know, pissed off. The cause is from inside. So I want to make a couple of suggestions on how to pursue self-knowledge, how to know more about yourself, so you can find your authentic self and start living from a place that a holistic entrepreneur does, which is, you know, following the Shakespearean principle of to thine own self be true. The first thing would be to admit to yourself that you haven't been completely authentic in different areas of your life. I'm not saying that you're 100% not authentic, but there might be places where you're not authentic that you finally need to admit to yourself. The next thing would be to be very curious. Be very curious. Ask yourself the question, who am I? What am I doing here? Question everything that's normal in your life. You know, why am I in this relationship? Why do I live in this city? Why am I in this position in life? Why do I have this job? Why is my physical body like this? You know, stand in front of a mirror, completely naked with all the lights on, and look at yourself and be completely honest with yourself. I am fucking overweight. I need to change myself. What this does is it triggers an emotional response, and it triggers something inside of you that says, listen, it's time for me to wake up, it's time for me to finally do something and take responsibility for the direction of where my life is going. then when you start learning about these different things about yourself, write it all down in a journal and start jotting your thoughts down. You know, if your life is worth documenting, then write it down. A lot of people go through life missing out on the important things and forgetting about some of the most important experiences in their life because they don't jot it down. They don't put it in a notebook. And you know, I think that's really a shame. There's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of people that come and go in our lifetime that are there to teach us a lesson, and it's important to remember and cherish those and make sure we don't make the same mistakes again, and that we use those lessons to help us move forward through life. So the other thing I would suggest is start picking up some books on personal development. Some people think, you know, self-development is hokey pokey and it's absolutely ridiculous, but it's probably one of the most important things in the world. Just a few suggestions would be to look up books by Anthony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, Robin Sharma. There are many others, you know, Millionaire Mind, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Sorry, Millionaire Mind is by T. Harv Eker. And all of these things, all of these books stress the importance of deciding and designing the vision for your life, because a lot of people come from a place of victimhood and they're just living like a robot through life, you know, on automatic, on autopilot, without actually, you know, choosing their course of action. They're absolutely aimless. So what I respectfully suggest is that you empower yourself to design your own life, to design where you want to be in life, how much money you want, the type of career that you want, the type of person you want to be in a relationship with. All these different things are all up to you. And when you finally know yourself, when you find out deep inside, you know, what it takes to motivate you, what you're meant to do in life, what inspires you most, what you want to accomplish before you're dead, you're unstoppable. Nothing can stop you. You're unshakable. It really doesn't matter what other people say, how they judge you. They'll think you're absolutely crazy for being so energetic and motivated and so clear and decided about your future. But it won't even matter anymore, because you're so true to yourself. You're so confident. You're like a rock, and you're immovable in your compulsion, in your conviction, in your ability to see what is possible for yourself. And then go out and take action. Go out and do something about it. If you want to pursue a career in real estate, then do something about it. Take a course. Call that person up that you need to talk to. If you want to be a yoga instructor, take those lessons. Get better. And all of these things need to be aligned with who you are. Obviously, it's one of the most important things, and you'll probably hear this over and over again on this blog. But yeah, self-knowledge is definitely the beginning of becoming a holistic entrepreneur, becoming a better human being a better version of yourself, and living from a place of clarity, living from a place of control, of power, of empowerment. I think it's really important that we all do this type of exercise now and again, every once in a while, because if you're not deciding where you're going to go, if you're not deciding where you're going to go and you have no destination, you'll always get there. You have it in you, and everyone has it inside of them to live a great life, to be a great version of themselves, to do something amazing that will impact the world. Because the negative people in your life, they all have a negative ripple. And I experience this, very rarely now, being surrounded by mostly positive people. But if someone's negative around me, the ripple effect is proven by the time I share someone's negativity with a friend of mine. And I say, it's like, hey man, you should have saw this person in line at Best Buy. They were such assholes. And as soon as I did that, I just spread that negativity and then just rippled out to another level of my circle. So don't be that person. Be aware, be conscious of it, and start being true to yourself. And start learning and being aware of your false self, so that you could finally make conscious decisions and start living from a place of authenticity. So that's pretty much it for now. Definitely check back in with us at theholisticentrepreneur.ca to learn some more about how to live a great life, how to be a leader, how to work on yourself and all aspects that are you. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.